What's up, cocksuckers?
And podcast Saipan. Let's see. We should talk about the Mankini from Legion's Holsters again, Mike. If you're packing
the 2024 edition again?
If you're smuggling a hog in your everyday carry,
Yeah.
get yourself in the Legion's Holstered Mankini. And if you're just carrying a 9mm, get one of their inside the waistband holsters, and also get one of their individual first aid kits, because if you're not an everyday carry with a Magnum kind of guy, you should at least be an everyday carry with a first aid kit kind of guy. Use code TNW10 when you check out and save a little bit of shipping cost. And then go to CompassionateViking.com and check out all the things Tyler and Vanessa have going on out at their little homestead. Tyler's podcast, The Compassionate Viking, and they just wrapped up their forest school. And Vanessa always has her homesteading kind of, I call it homesteading projects going on, and it's all fascinating. And then you have my own Training Northwest. We're out here in Granite Falls, Washington, and our public schedule for 2023 is now complete. We'll have the 2024 schedule up in December. And in the meantime, if you want to schedule a private lesson on the range, they're getting more and more popular with all the shit happening in the world, especially post Hamas, Israel, and the reality that there may be sleeper agents in the United States. I don't know. You might want to come out and learn to use a firearm. You can get in touch with me at trainingnorthwest@protonmail.com. And this started as bonus content, and then Jordan showed up, and
All hell broke loose.
all hell broke loose.
Yep.
That should be the name of the episode. All hell breaks loose. Yeah.
All right. There it'll be. Do we even want to try to describe it?
Nope.
Nah.
All hell will break loose.
All right, you guys, enjoy the episode. All right, bonus content, Mike.
The Tobin and Mike show.
That's right. All right. So Jordan's having a sex change operation tonight. So it's just the two of us.
He's becoming a man finally.
Finally. Our little buddy's growing up. All right. You
Hang
told
on.
me, you told me the subject.
Wait,
Go ahead.
if you could get a bigger dick put on you, would you? Talking to sex change.
Because I'm maybe in my 20s, but no longer do I think I need that.
And with that
quite frankly,
piece of your body.
I think I'd just get it removed because that shit's in the way all the time.
Dude, are we
how
going
often,
pro?
All right, think how often someone reverses their hips when you've got them in guard, and it just smashes a ball against the inside of your leg. And you're like, oh, fuck. Could I just get rid of these things because they're in my way?
Jiu-jitsu does help you learn interesting places for your testicles to hide. Like when people are passing guard and slicing in through a half guard. It's
Dude, when I was a new white belt, Rachel and I were rolling, and
she's the worst. You'll probably caught an elbow and a knee in the nuts.
She threw her hips around, same thing. I had her back, and she had herself almost reversed. All she had to do was throw her hips around, and she did.
Yeah.
And it smashed my left nut up above to where it I think it went between my skin and my pelvis. And now it's the skin is separated. So there's this pocket.
You got another nutsack?
Yeah, exactly. And so
flopper.
sometimes my left nut gets stuck up in there, and I have to push it back down into the bag.
Thanks, Rachel.
Yeah. Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate you.
Team mom. Give you an extra sack so you man up.
I know, right? God damn it.
Well, all right. So if we're doing this little bonus episode and it's just us, like I was saying earlier, I would kind of just like to talk about from World War I to present, more importantly, World War II to present, but just this America of police states of global involvement. And I mean, this Israel thing is concerning because everyone
on multiple levels, it's another front, the entire, not the entire world. So we have a war going on in Europe and a war going on in the Middle East. And the tension around the world is fucking rising. And we are so close to World War III. And you have all these people cheering for yay, Ukraine, and yay, Israel, or yay, shut the fuck up.
Yay, Hamas.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody should be saying, no, we don't need any of this.
Yeah.
Stop sending arms and fucking guns around the world trying to, prop up one regime or the other, because all it leads to is more of this. It needs to fucking stop.
Yeah.
Stop giving them money. Stop giving them weapons.
Yeah. Do you think our involvement throughout the world is like it helps drive the market? And
Yes.
so like as an industrialized state, the more you can influence, I mean, you look at the CIA or, shadow governments in setting up fake
I still
regimes.
think going back to our dictator for a day, if you told Boeing and Raytheon and Lockheed Martin and L3 and all these big military industrial contractors, guess what? At your core, you're an engineering firm.
Yeah.
And from here on out, you engineer infrastructure. And that's what we do. We do infrastructure at home. We do infrastructure abroad. We could start actually improving the situation of the world. All these big players would still make their money.
Yeah,
In
but
fact,
it's
probably the overall wealth of the world would increase because every time you add something of value, a bridge adds value to that community and to that economy. So does a road. So does an airport. Every time you add a power plant, every time you add value into a system, whether it's just the social system or the economy of that locale, you're adding value. So
Yeah.
we would be increasing the value and the wealth of the entire world, which I don't know, like even people who are greedy should be on board with that, right?
Yeah, but I will say that for someone that's pro capitalism, like telling an industry, even though you are a weapons manufacturer and engineering like establishment now, I mean, I guess that's kind of how Boeing started, was World War II, right?
Yeah,
That's when they
Bill,
started.
Bill Boeing was building airplanes for fun in his garage. And then I think it was like, this is like immediately
Bill
post.
Boeing, what a name.
Yeah, like immediately post World War I, or maybe during World War I. And then at some point he got big enough that he needed a factory.
Yeah.
But then World War II came along and it was like, all right,
can do it.
time to crank it up.
So, but it's like, I'm not mad at the manufacturer of it. It's like, I want our weapons to be better. I would like us to have jets that are nuclearly powered somehow, so you're not burning fuel and you can probably get more energy to whatever you're building, whether you run it off electricity, or whatever. But it's the people in control that decide what to use those weapons on. That it's not like the manufacturing of it I have a problem with. It's like, do we, like I said, by being a producer, like
it's the distribution of them into these world powder kegs of the world.
But no, but
and hang on, we excuse it as like, well, Israel's the good guys in all this, so we're propping them up. But the reality is, we're taking a high tension area and we're intentionally injecting more munitions into it.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, over?
So, but that, like, okay, so exactly, like, I don't care about, like, the weapons itself. It's the people and how they're using it. If you think, I said I didn't want to go back, but if you go Civil War, what was the big thing post-Civil War was carpetbaggers and rebuilding. And I think from the Civil War, our army and our nation learned a lot about what you can get through rebuilding areas. And, like, I'm going to build, we burned the South down, right? We burnt, literally, we burnt Sherman's march to
Georgia
the
howl.
sea.
Yeah.
Like, we burnt the South down. And you had to go and you had to rebuild this area if you're going to unify your nation. So we learned that there was a lot of money to be made off of rebuilding.
Oh, did you know that BlackRock just signed a contract to rebuild Ukraine?
Yeah,
even though
of
the war
course.
is still going on. Huh. Weird.
What if Russia wins and they're working
what a
for
coincidence?
Putin? Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like, I always say, follow the money, right? And so it's like, is our dictating, like, if we're giving munitions, what we know is going to happen is that there's going to be chaos and destruction.
Yeah.
But you can also have, like, I'm the savior, I'm the white knight, I'm here to save the day and bring the tanks. And then so when you win the war, like, you're there to rebuild and make more money, and you're going to take over that country.
And here's the thing, though. In that region, there is nobody's in the right.
But yeah, exactly.
I did 2 deployments to Israel, and the Israelis treat the Palestinians horribly. And to be fair, the Palestinians were there, right? They were displaced when they established the colony of Israel, which I think was under British rule until they fought the British for independence in like the 30s. Is that correct?
My Palestinian knowledge. Dude, I love Japan. There are certain things I know. I like numbers and history and stuff, but like what I'm kind of infantile in Middle Eastern history. I know like Iran,
it's really
Persia
confusing
and stuff. And like, but that's history.
But here's the
people
thing.
Moved
Both groups of people have like a righteous claim to the area. And so they're just determined to fight over it forever. And then you also have the Dome of the Rock, which is the second most holy site in all of Islam. You have the Wailing Wall, which is the most holy site in Judaism. And you have the Holy Sepulchre, which is the most holy site in Christianity, all within 3/4 of a mile of each other in the old city of Jerusalem.
Do you know much?
So then now you have these three factions who are just, it's like they're doomed to just fight each other forever over control of their fucking stupid religious sites.
Was this all based, like, I know, like, Judaism and, like, the Jews were kicked out of Egypt. I don't know who those people were 2,000 years ago. But then I know Christians, like...
Didn't they come from the Mediterranean? Didn't they migrate to Egypt first?
Where did you...
So this is where I get lost
know.
In that, like, Israelite, Canaanite...
But then
Exodus.
It's like people are like, I'm a Christian. And it's like, well, read the Bible.
I think the Jews were exiled from Palestine first, and then they went to Egypt, and then they were exiled from Egypt. But
but exactly. Like,
we need a fact checker.
Be a Christian and read the Bible. The first chapter or the first book of the Bible is is it Genesis, Torah? Right? But
are we talking Old Testament or
no? But the first book of the Bible is the Jewish Bible. That's fire and brimstone. And then you come in.
All three religions
Old Testament.
Believe.
Yeah.
All three religions believe in the Old Testament.
Right? So, but then it's like, okay, and then you get 2,000 years later and you get a new group of people and they're like, actually, this is the next chapter of the Bible. Yeah. So it's like to say that any of these people are from it's like, that's history, war and clashing and moving. This has been going on forever. And so like this last moment of like what happened there at that time, 2,000 years.
Maybe we're in the Matrix. Maybe this is like one giant Legend of Zelda game.
But it's weird. It's fighting over. I said it the other day to you guys when we
should go on a quest to save Jordan.
Gather some sticks and yarn.
Dress up like medieval knights and go over to his house. Fucking yell at his dogs.
I don't get why you would go kill someone for something that happened 2,000 years ago, but I can get why you would kill someone for something that happened within your life, like the last 20 years or what's currently happening. When people are oppressing you, I can get why there's fighting and stuff happening. But these ideological wars of this is who I am from this lineage 2,000 years ago. That's why in a little bit of a way, it's like when Mike Zedong wants to be in the forefront, I don't care about like if we all became, and I always say this, it's a nation of the people. It's based, there's no leader. Mike Zedong only gives the platform for the people to all vote and become the world. It's not me running this. But Jordan said a point where he's like, well, what are you going to do? You're going to get rid of like your traditions or like, this is my culture. But in a little bit of a way, it's like, dude, we're all people. I don't care about like, you think this and that you think that person's that creates difference. What matters is we're all here together and we're talking and we're building together and we're communicating.
Yep.
Yeah. Why? I'm a Christian. Fuck you. I'm a Muslim. Fuck you.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you guys are all people.
People need drama.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, you know what I mean? Look at the stupid shit people fight over in the USA. And
but that's tribalism of where we came from as humans.
Sure,
like
it's in our DNA.
Of people.
You're never going to get tribalism out of people because it was so important to our survival in like prehistoric times.
Yeah.
Before we had modern technology, people relied on each other. And so they were probably happier. And that's why tribalism is such an important piece of our what do you call it? Like genetic memory.
Yeah. Well, it's kept you alive, absolutely. All right,
and that's just like we talked about in episode 30. Religion is kind of like a shared set of rules, so that you can know that the tribe, next valley over, kind of agrees to play the same sport as you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's
You're
like
on the,
a soccer team doesn't show up and
You
play a
need
football
rules.
team because they
Yeah.
don't have the same set of rules. But
Yeah.
two soccer teams can get on a field together and play like an effect, you know what I mean, and have a fun time because they both agree on the set of rules. Society's kind of the same where, and major religion provides that framework so that you know, like, oh, think about it. People say, oh, they're good Christians. Like, we can go hang out with them.
their morals.
Yeah.
And how they live their life.
Yeah.
And their
My
actions.
neighbor is a good Muslim.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I can trust him
Yeah.
because he lives by the same code I do.
Yeah. No one says that's a great atheist.
Yeah.
you know,
right.
That's
Yeah,
never
you're right.
uttered.
Yeah. And maybe that's what we're losing. Like, we have lost a lot of spirituality in modern culture because technology and cynicism take over.
Yeah, but I'm an atheist.
I used to be. I'm not
Yeah,
anymore.
but just because you know there's more to this world or a higher existence doesn't mean there's a God. It just means something's been written.
So what you just said is agnostic, meaning
Yeah.
we don't know.
Yeah,
There
exactly.
Atheist means no, I'm sure there is no creator.
Yeah, but you can still be
Agnostic is I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know.
I lean this way, but I accept that the day I die, I might find out that it's completely different.
Yeah, but there can still be a creator, but it doesn't mean it has your best intent there. Like, I don't know, maybe there is something.
I don't
but
believe
it's
that God
like,
is
what
good.
if yeah, exactly.
God,
so
God
it's
could
like,
be a 14-year-old kid trying to burn ants with a magnifying glass.
I'm an atheist and an agnostic. It's like but even to
That's
think
not atheist to say, though, or that atheist says
no.
An atheist says, I do not believe in any form of intelligent creation.
I thought it's just God.
No. Well,
No.
that's in any God, whether it's Buddha or Allah or, you know what I mean, God, the Christian God. They don't believe in any God. They don't believe in intelligent design. They believe in evolution, period. Big Bang, then evolution, in that order.
Yeah, I believe in that too, but the Big Bang, I don't know. That's
Right,
the
so that-
only thing of God.
But do you think it's possible that intelligent design exists?
Oh, yes.
Okay, that makes you agnostic.
But I also think it's possible God doesn't exist.
Yeah,
and it
that's
happened.
agnostic.
But I mean,
Agnostic is,
yeah.
I recognize all possibilities because I don't know. I have no proof of any of them.
but I
so
also
I
at the
don't
same
fucking
time
know.
think there isn't a God
Oh, that's fine.
or a creator.
But you accept that you can't prove it so that somebody else might be just as right.
True.
Yeah. That's agnostic.
But I don't think there's a God.
Just like Christians believe their God is the only God and everybody else is wrong.
But what if just
An
like,
atheist believes there is no God and everybody else is wrong.
but like, think of consciousness, like, we need more people here to have it. Like, if there's more of us, there's probably a higher consciousness.
Jordan walks in,
Or-
I'm going to make him look up the
Yeah.
definitions to atheist and agnostic.
Or we are so off
World War
topic.
II history.
Yeah. All right, fuck it, dude. Okay, let's go back. So
I do have a question because I am completely ignorant about the gap between World War I and World War II, other than the Weimar Republic collapsing and Hitler taking over Germany. I guess we were going through Prohibition. It would be the Roaring 20s and then Prohibition and then World War II.
So
Never mind, I'm not ignorant.
Prohibition in the 20s, also Dust Bowl,
Oh yeah, Great Depression.
Great Depression, Hoovervilles.
Yep.
And that's why I always go back to war bonds. I always say this about war bonds.
So do you think the lesson was that World War II drug us out of poverty?
Yeah.
So do you think the sort of the early philosophy of the military industrial complex post World War II then was like, hey, if it drug us out of poverty to win this world war, imagine what it could do
on a global scale.
if we started it from good.
Yeah, that's a very good possibility.
And
because
that might be what became the, hey, let's keep these wars going, because if it can drag us out of poverty that deep, then imagine how rich it can make us.
I would like to say the creation of all the 3-letter agencies was due to us realizing that there can be other people out there with money and technologies that can have nefarious ideas to stifle someone's independence or existence, i.e. the Jews of Germany. Like, that's just a horrific thing to see.
Well, World War
But-
II proved that technology wins massive wars. Right?
Yeah, but with the Japanese, everyone, I mean, it's kind of two fronts. To think like World War II was just the same thing.
He's peeking in the window.
Oh, shit. To think it's the same thing, it's not. It's two completely different battles.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that for the first time, a technology race tipped the scales.
Oh, yeah.
World War II was as much a technology race as it was a physical battle.
Yes, yes. I mean, and I think we kind of hinted at or
So,
said
but
this.
anyway, I'm backing your point up, which is that, yeah, I agree. The three-letter agencies, part of what they've always been doing is chasing the newest technology and trying to steal it for us.
But I would like to think that they were created post-World War II to realize that there's threats and we need to stop this from happening throughout the world, right?
Well,
That's
I think
that's the happy idea. But what I'm thinking, like what they really became is what your latter words were, that they were created because post World War II, with that like rebuilding, like there was so much chase the money. There was so much money available after it.
Yeah.
And what
they also
scares
learned that
me
rebuilding
is
extremely
that
profitable.
instead of going like moral and dignity based, we went more profiteering. And now that makes a better military, and that gives you more money for your schools and your people and stuff. But it kind of also sets you off on a nefarious path where you have corruption, you have bad wars fought, and then world police spread throughout the world, and you get to this point. So is it the world's crazy, or what is our involvement throughout this with the military industrial complex that's gotten us here? Is this a bad thing? Was Jordan really outside?
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Is the front door locked? Oh, shit. We'll pause it.
Pause.
All right, Mike, what were we talking about? We were talking about post-World War II, three-letter agencies.
Well, hang on. This is a bonus episode, and we just got a bonus.
What's up, guys?
There we
I'm
go.
here.
He made it. Little buddy made it. Scoot in there, fella.
How deep in this podcast are you guys?
Probably a half hour.
Oh, that's not bad. Welcome, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what we're talking about is everything post World War I, heavy emphasis post World War II, and the creation of the
geopolitics.
police state. Yeah,
And what leading up to
The Cold War.
the Hamas attack in Israel.
yeah. How we think we've become a police
Then to
state.
now. Yeah.
And we just got done talking about the creation of the three-letter agencies and hoping that they were
Okay. Police state. So the three-letter agencies, their primary goal when they were conceived was to combat communism. The CIA abroad and the FBI at home.
Yeah.
They're killing it, huh?
Yeah, yeah. So when the wall fell, now you have all this ability to combat.
But that was way later.
I know,
If you
I know,
look at
but
the
hang
budget
on.
for the CIA,
I'm gonna explain
the
where
year
the police-
after the World War II,
Mike.
it was billions.
I'm going to explain where the police state came from. So when the wall came down and the Soviet Union crumbled and they went,
With Hasselhoff.
dust their hands off, we won. You have all of this intelligence gathering ability and nowhere to direct it. So pretty fast came the war on drugs, and we directed it into South America a little bit. But let me finish. Let me go through the timeline. That turned out to be a disaster. But you also had large portions of it began to focus domestically because they needed something to focus on, right? Yeah. Then you fast forward the next generation. Now we have 9/11 followed closely by the Patriot Act, which gave them almost unbridled power to go after terrorists. No warrants. You can. Everything is on the table. We'll even build a prison where we can hold people we call terrorists without charge indefinitely. Mm-hmm. We'll build it on foreign soil so that it's not subject to our Constitution, which is where we get Gitmo.
Yeah.
So now Al-Qaeda, Taliban, the Taliban is back in control in Afghanistan, but worldwide Islamic terrorism is significantly less of a threat than it was 15 years ago. So in some ways, they kind of beat that one. And so now you have all this targeting capability. You have the Patriot Act, which gives them the power to do anything. What do you do with it? Well, now you focus it internally again, because then you start amending the NDAA, the Patriot Act, to include, what do they call it, domestic violent extremists. Mm-hmm. Like if you go to a school board meeting and disagree with the curriculum, then you go on the list of people who can be wiretapped without a warrant, can be arrested as a domestic terrorist, and then held without charge, without charge indefinitely, without charge or trial. If you're a terrorist, you go to Gitmo and you don't need a charge or a trial.
Yeah.
So anybody who they don't like now And now we get into newspeak, just like Orwell warned us about in 1984 with the political correctness and now the wokeism. And now even just saying something like, I don't think we should be giving kids sex change operations. Now I'm a domestic terrorist. I can be held without charge or trial.
Yeah, but you're getting, when I said police state,
And that's how we come to this spot where we now are living in a quasi-police state, and the left is trying to make it much, much stronger and more of a controlling police state.
well, when I say police state,
Okay, but wait. No, sorry, go ahead.
I don't mean police state like within. I mean, yes, currently it's out of control. If you look at the CIA post 9/11, if you look at it in the 60s, the assassination of Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, we'll go JFK on that as well. You see it gets out of control when you put it within. But I mean police state as an action in the world. Like I originally said,
Team
post
America.
World War II, the CIA's budget grew exponentially. And within 2 years post World War II, what happened was a Korea conflict, right?
Yeah.
And I think that the America just got out of this war, and we had so many soldiers and armament, and we've just finished 2 massive fronts. And it's like, okay, we're getting money back, we're getting a couple years off, but then we immediately went into Korea, and Korea set off into Vietnam. And then Vietnam said, I mean, it's like,
Well, I have
so
I have a couple
I mean
comments.
police state of the world. So that's why I get back to like with these 3-letter agencies, not only within, but if you look like, what was Arab Spring, Gaddafi, and like,
Can you guys break something down for me? Because you guys, this would be a good thing to start me asking questions, because I don't know what we're talking about.
yeah, you're good.
I mean that's just the reality. Is I'm not caught up with the. I couldn't
You're
name
fine,
all
dude.
3-letter agencies or
Yeah, but you're
lettered
better
agencies.
at other stuff than I am.
Well,
I'm not-
because
we have-
there's like
I'm
a
certainly-
dozen of them now.
But
There
I'm,
used
but
to
I'm,
only be
but
like
I'm
2.
asking. So we got the CIA, the FBI. Keep me
N-
going.
NSA, National Surveillance Agency.
Okay.
NRO, National Reconnaissance Office. You have DOD, Department of Defense.
Defense, which is
Yep.
everything.
Department of State.
Yeah.
What am I missing?
Who's the guy that
I mean,
makes me take
isn't
off my
that
shoes at
enough?
the airport?
Wasn't it?
Oh, Department of Treasury. And I think there's a couple other, I can't think of all the names.
Every time I step on the plane, they're like, "Take your shoes off, spread them."
Homeland Defense. Yep, you're right.
So those fuckers.
HOA, yeah.
Customs and Border
Or HOA.
Protection. They're part of
HOD.
Homeland Defense.
Yeah.
But if you read, goddamn, what's the book?
So we got those.
I think there are several more 3-letter intelligence agencies that are a little sort of lesser known and a little more clandestine.
But didn't it used to be, it was CIA and FBI?
and DOD.
That was it.
That was it.
But why pass CIA and FBI? If you have one for
it's
internal
the
relations.
same
and-
reason why they're getting rid of policing in Seattle. They're saying that police are overrun and overburdened. So what we need to do is have a different group of people with a different budget
Yeah.
come out and
Well,
deal with.
part of it was to hide it. So
deal
that
with.
each time you create a new agency, you
Wait,
kind
we're
of hide
getting
it in
new
the budget.
cops?
We're getting cops that aren't cops. They're unarmed.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They're unarmed
social workers.
Social workers going
What are they
out.
called?
Yeah,
oh,
that's
they're
fine.
crisis management
unarmed.
But that's
officers or
a
something.
That's how it starts.
That's yes. And then all of a sudden, now we got another agency.
Now they got pepper spray,
Right.
And then eventually it turns into a gun.
Well, or they don't have to have warrants, or they can. I don't know what they're able to go and do.
Yeah,
but they're
but-
going to be able to go and do stuff.
Yeah, are
that
they gonna
normal
have
cops aren't going to be
arrest
able
authority?
to? Right? Like,
Good luck
but-
arresting me without a gun, though. That's where it gets like, okay, so you're a social worker, go nuts, go social.
Yeah.
Which give credit to, man. When you have problems, it's like, hey, if someone could actually talk you down from the ledge, it's like you're probably gonna have more success with that person reforming
Do we-
than like
but what I'm
showing up
saying
with a
is-
gun and being like, get in here, sit in this cell.
I think
or I'll
that might
shoot
be.
you.
I think that might be the same mindset of like, oh, we just need another agency to take over this thing that we need. Because if the FBI and the CIA were doing all of that,
As
and
an
the DoD.
experiment, I would have to be like, man, if you want to try and get people to like obey the law without guns,
I'm
go
not
for
saying
it. Let's see. I'll give you.
I'm not saying
I'll
it's
give
not a
you
bad
$1 million. Give me a year. Let's see where this goes.
Doesn't the UK do it?
Yeah. They don't have guns. Canada, for the most
Anywhere.
part, doesn't have
and they have
guns.
a shitload of stabbings.
Oh yeah, but they don't have shootings, but they get stabbings.
I mean, they have some
No,
shootings.
what I mean is the British police don't carry guns.
Yeah. No,
The bobbies. The bobbies.
and
Mounties carry guns in Canada.
was it you that was saying or was it you that was saying in Japan?
Not me.
Was it Japan or China?
Japan doesn't have guns.
Well, the police.
The police, yeah. But I mean,
one
most
guy,
police
one
don't.
guy has the bullets, and the other guy has the gun.
Yeah, Barney Fife style.
No
You
shit.
Yeah,
Right? Is it
Yeah.
Japan that does that?
I don't know.
There's
Maybe.
a country where it's like the police officers, like one partner carries the gun, the other carries
Is this
the
something
bullets,
Tyler was telling us?
and you have to call.
Sounds
Yeah, it might have
familiar.
been.
Okay.
Yeah, it might have been Tyler.
There's a lot of countries that cops don't have guns. I mean, hey, there's something going in. Call in the cops with the guns. But there's,
You know what? I did not mean to get to an anti-gun debate because I believe in guns fully, and if
I believe in
I want
guns,
the
too.
I want the cops to have guns.
Well,
I want
yeah,
the cops
let's
to be
get
able.
back
we're
on
talking
track.
about social.
Yeah, I'm talking. What I was talking about was the thought,
the full
process,
dynamics here.
and the rabbit hole. What's up, guys? No, I was talking about like I could see how you could add a agency with that mindset of like, oh well, it's probably wasn't out of like, oh, we're gonna add this because fuck the people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Well, that's why I always say, like, that last episode, like, how would you want to be ruled? Like, if there has to be government, how would you want to be ruled? And it's like, yeah, so what is the point of these things? Like, there has to be a little bit of order, but what is overstepping? You know, what is the purpose?
Like a latchkey
like a
kid.
family,
But
like
hang
if
on.
someone says, this is my rule and I'm going to do laundry, right? I'm going to do dinner, right? And you go make money and you do this. Like,
How did we get here from 3-letter agencies post World War II?
yeah, sorry.
yeah, no, to say that this agency has a role, I can see allocating responsibilities. If you guys are
Some of it's
electricians,
technology driven too.
Yeah, but
so
also-
as you create all this signals intelligence,
but also
technology,
you guys
you
are
create-
you guys are electricians, and if they're like, hey, we want you to wire this, but we also need you to do a little drywall. Right. And then all of a sudden you're doing more and more drywall for all the electrical jobs you're doing. And then you're like, dude, I can't get my electrical work done. And they're like, hey,
yeah, that's
we'll
that's
create
exactly
the
it.
drywall industry.
Yes. So CIA does human, NSA
Yeah.
does SIGINT, right? DOD is military. Yeah,
Yeah.
they all have a specialty. Yeah.
Which I can get, but at which point does it get out of control with power? Like I was saying earlier,
Is this because we're being controlled too much? Is that what this
No.
talk is
I want to
about?
get
Like,
back to the like we said, the geopolitics.
yeah,
And so so post World War II, you have
so I said going into Korea, right?
Yeah.
We went.
Oh, so here, that's the point I wanted to make. So both the Vietnam and Korean wars were military actions to stop the spread of communism.
yes.
All the other small conflicts were like empire building type
But
wars.
China was with us during World War
Yes.
II. They were
Yes.
our
And
ally,
right,
and
but
we had tons of
That's
soldiers
because
there.
we had our puppet, and we had Chiang Kai-shek.
yes,
Right? And then you have the People's Revolution and Mao Zedong, and then that's when China becomes our enemies
Yes.
as the communists.
So how
take
does
over.
the communism spread though into there? What was it? Wasn't it Russia?
It came from the universities. And
yes. But how
yes.
does?
I think it was Soviet influence.
Yes.
Into the education system, which, hey, America, what's happening today?
So, okay, so now we're getting where I want to go. So, when World War II ended, it seemed like Russia was like, we're going to rule the rubble. And the U.S. was like, you ain't ruling shit.
Yes. So, okay, sorry.
So that-
excluding those two wars that were to prevent communism, everything else has been empire building post World War II, and that's how we became the world's police force. And what we did is we stopped exporting tangible goods, and we started exporting cash, and we forced everybody with our military to use our cash.
Yeah.
So that the U.S. dollar did not become the currency of trade around the world because it was the best, because we had the most guns. And we said, you are going to trade in U.S. dollars. or we're going to come in and fuck you up. And that's what the Arab Spring was. That's why they kicked Muammar Gaddafi, or assassinated him, basically, or kicked him out of power.
Stick up his ass.
Is because he was attempting to create a new currency and sign contracts with other countries, I think including Russia, that said they would trade in that new currency. Then it was going to be a gold-backed currency.
He was 10 years too early.
Yeah.
If that was happening right now, he could have signed on. They're trying.
Yeah, BRICS. Yeah. But that is why we sponsored the Arab Spring in Libya. That's really, like, they'll tell you we were in Libya to spread democracy. Yeah. No. We wanted to overthrow the government because they were trying to create a currency that could detract from the American dollar's power abroad.
But we've done that throughout.
Yes, we have. And that's why everybody hates us now, is because the only thing we export is bullying. We bully people to use the U.S. dollar, and everybody's tired of sanctions. And if you don't do what the United States tells you to, they'll slap you with a sanction or with a tariff, and everybody's fucking tired of it. And that's why you get the rise of, like, BRICS.
Do you think it's like not only the tension of the United States, everyone says civil war, but do you think the tension of the world is so high because of us? Like, we're creating the world civil war?
No, I think this cultural war, cultural revolution is happening across most of the Western countries.
Yeah, but it's also, you have Arab influence.
They're always, the Arabs and the Jews are never going to stop fighting.
But then you have African, like true African. Then you have Asian.
The Africans
like
are just getting shit on by everybody because they have more natural resources than anybody, and somehow they're the poorest.
I'll go live in the Congo.
The least amount of guns.
Say what?
The least amount of guns.
They seem to have a lot.
Well, small arms for each
All
other.
the war, like testing of weapons, seems to happen in African
and vaccines
tribes
and medications. Weird.
But it's
Gates Foundation.
The Congo is lush. I mean, Africa's a magical. I mean,
It's beautiful.
We came from there technically. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Did we, Mike?
I think so.
Did we come from outer space?
I think we're so close to bonobos and chimps. We had to come from Africa, where they come from. Am I cutting?
Yeah, you're cutting out a little bit there. So you're saying we come from Africa?
Africa.
I heard rain.
Police state, Jordan.
Police state.
What do you think?
International bullying. Forcing people to use the dollar.
I definitely think that has worked out for us thus far.
It's worked out for us until about 2019.
And what happened in 2019 that made it not work out for us?
Oh, did we elect? Sorry, I don't think we elected him. I actually, the more shit comes out, the more I think, you know what? I don't think we elected him.
Everything seems right. You know what's weird is all these
say it.
Elections, like every side that loses claims like, oh, it was
only in the last 2 years.
It was fraud.
Yeah.
And then this last one, they're like, this guy's fucking, this is the end of democracy. It's like, hey, every one of these assholes that did it before said it, you know?
Yeah.
So weird.
I just
poor Jordan.
Well, the thing is, I feel
we know he's taking money from China.
Yes,
$5 million at least.
Yes.
Yeah, and
look at Burisma.
Who seems to be pulling all the strings right now? China, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like we're making decisions that benefit them.
That's why I say
we're draining our national resources. We're getting involved in multiple war fronts.
We're allowing what the fuck is it with these Chinese police stations?
If you get the top,
you know what I mean, that haven't
quote unquote police stations. When it's a police station in another country, that's a fucking spy base.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
you know
multiple of them.
But that's what I mean.
Tell me more about those.
Yeah.
Because I don't know anything about them.
If you have the president, who else if you have the hardest person to get, it's easy to get a cop, a guy that works at a factory that doesn't like his life, that runs the power grid.
Most Americans are living in debt, and people in debt are very easy to blackmail.
Yes.
Or not blackmail, but recruit as agents because they need money.
Yeah. And that's kind of why this whole Hamas-Israel thing is like weird, because it's like,
I'm open for recruitment.
I could use a new kitchen.
I'm going to put you out on a corner on 99. For every $15 you make, you owe me $5.
All right.
I'll pull up as a Chinaman.
Whoa, easy. Cancel.
Yeah, I'll give you money.
That was Mike Kozak.
Mike Zedong. You can say Chinaman.
Can you?
Yeah. He's a Chinese
Is
man.
it a China man? You can
or
say,
a China woman.
but you can't say Chinaman.
I don't think you.
know.
China man.
I think they all cycle through what you can and can't say because Oriental was bad for a while, and I don't know.
Yeah.
if that's
I
back.
think-
and colored was bad, but now they call them people of color.
Yeah. I mean, there's one word you can't say that I know.
Right. There's one that there's one we definitely don't say.
Yeah.
Cracker.
For the longest time, I thought cracker was like, oh, you're a cracker. No,
You're white like a cracker.
like a
I thought they meant like saltines when I was a kid.
So did
like,
I.
No.
Up until a few years ago, and then some, then the cracking of the whip, and I was like, that got dark
yeah,
quick.
right?
That makes me feel okay.
I didn't know that till I was an adult.
Yeah, I was like, they call us crackers, haha, like saltines. That's fucked up, but yeah, I mean, it matches. But then
Yeah.
I realized, and here I am.
It's weird because my background is mainly Polish and a little bit of Russian, I think. So,
Checks
like,
out.
to think of when people are like, "You're white," and you suppress me, it's like, dude, my people were.
Yeah.
I came over here in the 20s or 30s.
Yeah.
You know, and it's weird to inherit guilt.
Our family's Irish. And so, like,
Yeah,
you
we're
hear
drunk.
the stories about, think about how the Irish were treated in the coal mines in Appalachia. They were,
Protestants and Catholics.
by
Look
some,
at the Irish war. Yeah.
by some accounts, treated worse than slaves because slaves were considered real property, whereas an Irishman was, you didn't own him, so why not just fucking use him up and get rid of him?
But isn't that history? That's the Jews in Egypt.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
everything.
that's the thing, is every culture at some point has been enslaved.
Yeah.
And there's more slaves in the United States right now, per capita, than at any time ever before. And they're not for fucking physical labor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And nobody seems to be talking about that.
Well, what's that open market slave trade? Is it Liberia?
I think they're
Doesn't
probably-
Liberia mean?
I thought we were talking about Angie's List.
Doesn't
That's my
Craigslist Liberia?
isn't Liberia? Wasn't that given back to black people?
No, you're thinking of
What does it mean?
goddamn it,
Free man.
Monrovia.
I thought it was.
I thought it was.
I thought
Monrovia.
Liberia mean liberty man. Liberia.
I don't know, but I think there are multiple countries around the world that have slave trade, open slave markets.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
I mean,
Go to Home Depot. Is there any difference in a way?
In the thought of like,
Well, I mean, there's a lot of difference, but it's like you're paying people a penny on a dollar compared to someone else to do manual backbreaking.
look at all the people driving into the city every day to work a 9 to 5 who are living paycheck to paycheck. It's not like brutal slavery, but it's a form of slavery because they're so in debt. They had a college loan and then a house loan.
Yeah, but I
and
guess
then-
you have free will to say, I don't want to do this and up and leave no matter what.
But then how do you?
But where are
eat?
you going to go?
Where do you go and what do you eat?
mindset is the slavery we have here in the U.S. because the
Just
reality
grind away.
is
50 hours. Hey, you're lucky. You're getting like. Have you ever heard guys who are so stoked that there's
I
overtime on a job?
I want is slavery. Why do you want? Why do you need something? You don't need fucking half of anything, dude. You could some water and some food, some meat and some like food and some potatoes and like. I start thinking about food right now, and I've got a little sidetrack.
Yeah.
It's funny how
Hang on,
all
do we want food and potatoes?
Yeah, well, it's
Just or one or the other.
It's funny how all of the peasant foods are like the posh, like high-end restaurants are doing. Oh, this was peasant food, and it tastes so good. It's like, fuck you. It tastes amazing.
Yeah.
And why this was peasant food, lucky fuckers? You know what I mean? But anyway,
lobster was peasant food because they were like insects.
right. So anyway, but the fact of the matter is like wanting things and putting your mind in the position of like needing more is kind of the issue. And we've created a world of technology where if you don't have that technology, you truly are lesser than the next person in the abilities
like
of what you can get done in it. Yeah, it's you are if I showed up with a rock and Tyler shows up with an axe, well, guess what?
Yeah.
Tyler gets to say what we're going to do today.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden I show up with a gun and Tyler has his axe,
Yeah.
It's my day.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
and
this
and that
back
goes
now
with
to-
computers. It goes. I mean, I didn't have a computer until I was in high school, and it was the family computer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah. It was out in the living room.
yeah,
Same here.
And I'll tell you what, that was a
They saw your history. A lot of cookies to be deleted. Let me tell you,
and
Mama.
I didn't know how to do it.
That must have been Dad.
Yeah. So
Oh, man.
that was that was rough.
Well, hang on. So that ties back into, shit. I just let this got busy thinking about your browser history.
I just think of a young Jordan with an email like WrestleBoy69, like logging into dirty websites and stuff as he got the family computer.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Oh shit.
I was never a lotion
world.
guy. I was never a lotion guy.
You're a dry guy.
Yeah.
What were you saying before? God damn. I gotta go wash my face.
Those calloused hands.
Wash your ears.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I just feel like that's why we have to keep up with the Joneses now. It's like technology.
Oh, yeah, sorry. That's what led into the military-industrial complex
And that's where I was
World
going.
War II and the technology races that we realized that you need an F-35 because Russia's developing something faster, and then you have like China develop these anti-ship missiles that outpace any of the defenses that our aircraft carriers have, and so now our aircraft carriers are at disadvantage, and it's this constant trying to level up your technology to outdo the other powers of the world.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, what people don't really want to talk about and think about is whoever's got the bigger gun fucking wins.
Yeah. So from
And
Iraq,
I
but
would rather live in a country that has the biggest guns than one that doesn't.
yeah, and we
And
learned
gets
that
fucking
on a
taken
micro
advantage of.
scale in the Middle East, especially when I was contracting, because you'd pull up sometimes to a checkpoint and they're not full hostile, but they're also not friendly, and it's like, all right, we got a lot of guns in here, and right now we're smiling at you, but we don't have to smile. And so there's kind of this moment of everybody sort of feeling each other out, and then it's like they give you the wave and the nod, and it's like, yeah, we don't want to fight today, so just go ahead and go.
Yeah.
And you get through a lot of checkpoints that way.
Yeah. I mean, that's how you get that is when you are the one with the guns, or when you are the one with the strength, you get to decide if we're going to be nice today. And unfortunately, as Americans, we have had the size and the power, and we have gotten away from being a positive role in the world.
Do you
and
think
we've
we
started,
ever were, or do you think it was all our media has been controlled?
I think we were just
I think
us.
something. Well,
We weren't like a force to. Lately, we're this global beacon, and we're like America's here.
are
to
we a
save.
global beacon, or are we the global bullies that are running around
Yeah,
forcing
yeah.
all the poor countries
No.
to do what we tell them? And we tell ourselves on our TV channels that we are the beacon of freedom, and everybody goes, "Yay, America!" But in reality, are all these other countries overseas like these motherfuckers?
Yeah, they are
could
because
be.
we've intervened. But what I mean is, back in the day, America was just America. All of this happened
Post World War II.
World War I, especially post World War II, and I think the speeding up of it is post World War II.
Yeah. So you're saying I'm right?
A little bit.
Yeah.
unfortunately.
So, but remember what I was saying the other night, nerds
I
and
will
cowboys? You guys keep saying whoever has the better guns wins. And that's kind of like the harmony
Intel.
of this.
But the
Until-
nerds create the F-35.
Well,
You know what I mean? And then the Cowboys are
The
down on the ground
Cowboys
with an
use it.
AK-47.
No, but then you get your cowboys that are the pilots. You're not going to have the
Yeah.
guy that creates a F-35 flying it. He's going to create it. A bunch of people will fly them, and you'll have your army. And so you guys keep saying whoever has the best technology wins. So that is
Unless you're the Taliban, and then
you live in a cave.
you just
Yeah.
here's the secret to guerrilla warfare is you outlast and you out-endure.
Oh yeah.
It's not about winning battles. It's about
But if
making
someone
the other
develops
side,
the technology that can blanket a country and suffocate caves and permeate everywhere, like you get a gas and you're all dead, well, our technology beat you. You guys keep saying it, and this is why I love it.
that's a bomb.
Yeah.
And at some point,
That's not a bomb.
multiple people.
That's like
will-
mustard gas.
okay, mustard gas bomb.
But learning how to make those chemicals, you need those nerds and you need those cowboys to deploy what those nerds make.
Okay. Sure.
And that's what
it's like
creates a
James
good
Bond and
country.
Q.
That's what makes a good country.
Charlie
You
and the
need a
Angels.
balance of nerds and you need a balance of cowboys.
Yeah.
When you say the cowboys are bad and the nerds are right, you're wrong. When you say the nerds are right and the cowboys are bad, you're wrong.
Well, okay.
I don't think we
so. The way this works out realistically is the biggest, baddest fucking chimp runs the fucking group, right?
Yeah.
That's
Until
true. The
you
nerds
realize
don't
that
usually
the
run
fucking
the group because they-
until you realize that
Uh-uh.
a couple chimps can create a coalition
Yeah.
and say, "Hey, guess what?
Group.
We are going to overthrow him, and the biggest, baddest chimp has to fight 3, and he knows he can't."
Okay,
So
hey,
now
I got an idea.
they
Friday.
put a different fucking person in power, a different chimp in power. Legitimately, this is what they fucking do. Watchdog documentary, and they overthrew the biggest, baddest fucking chimp, and he had to kind of just go, well, fuck.
I'm done.
All right, Friday, Jordan, I want you to ask Greg if he wants to roll. Then we're going to jump on him too. And
Yeah.
let's see if we can choke him out.
We'll win.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, but that's
think
true.
it's
But that's a
hilarious.
form of technology is learning to, instead of being an individual, how to coexist with others.
so
just the
who
same
do
way
we
as a
put
technology.
in power to do that, because we all know that's how
The
fucking
people.
that's we learned this exact thing in the fucking first grade. We learned this when we were interacting with other kids.
So-
it was never a question of like, be kind to others. What's that Bible verse say?
Do
was
unto
you.
others as you would have done unto you.
There you go. So, I mean, we go back to that.
Yeah.
Be kind to people. But guess what? I will be as kind as I can be, and I still want to be a fucking murderer. Because I want to know at the end of the day, me being kind is because I want to be kind,
You
and
want
I
to be a
have,
warrior in a garden.
but I know how to be a warrior. Yes,
Yep.
exactly. And when we don't have that, when we lose that, and like that's something we can't lose, and that is just because that is what you need to have the fucking upper
Hang on.
hand.
Isn't being a warrior
you-
what keeps all the other gardeners from becoming assholes?
Wait,
You
it
know what I
can
mean?
be.
If everybody's a warrior in the garden, then nobody's really going to be looking for a fight, right?
Until there's a bad
like a
warrior.
dangerous society is a polite society.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's that article or that essay that's called "The Gun is Society" or "Gun is Civilization," and it's talking basically about if everybody has guns, everybody has to be nice to each other.
Yeah.
It's a great
Armed society is
equalizer.
a polite society.
Yeah. So, with that, do we just say fuck it, give everybody in the world fucking access to
No,
the fucking
because
biggest bombs ever?
Everybody in Israel has a gun. Everybody in fucking Hamas has, or the Gaza Strip has a gun. Look how that's working out.
Yeah, but I'm saying, well, we do that, and it's like, oh no, we're not. we're
But
just
it's
putting
not the
buttons.
people that are, it's like the
It's-
governments and the
We have-
people, regimes that fund what the actions are. You have an army, cool. You can use it to rebuild your society, like my original Mike Zedong leader, be part of the People's Corps. Or you can go and your regime will tell you to go invade this country, kill everyone. The problem is not the people, it's the powers that are working, telling people what to do.
We know that.
Using that axe, using
There's
that knife.
there's nobody. I'm sure,
And it's
we
not
could
the
hang out with
people
people
voting.
in Palestine and Israel and fucking bring them in this garage and fucking bro out.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I'm
guarantee
sure.
we could do that with multiple people.
But-
the problem is, like you said, the governments are doing that, and it's not about the people. So when people get all fucking pissed off and like, oh, fuck them, it's really not about them. It's about their governments, right? It's about their leadership is fucked. Just like our leadership here in the U.S.
Yeah.
is fucked. And a lot of people all over the world think the same shit, but we keep letting ourselves get into this shit because the elites in our countries are putting us in those positions because they think either, hey, I need to establish a way to get material. They're playing fucking just the geopolitical game of fucking Catan. And they're just fucking, you know what I mean? They're doing that, and they're trying to like wheel and deal, and they're keeping us in the dark. And the problem is they're so used to starting to keep us in the dark, because if they start telling us what they're doing, then they're telling other countries what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right? So obviously they need to keep their citizens like hush hush, we can't tell anybody shit. And that's where we start finding like, oh, they were doing this war and that, they were really trying to do that. And it's like, I'm hoping to God that they're like, oh, we're like playing 5 moves deep in 3D chess right now, and we know what's going on, and we knew this was coming. But the fucking reality of the situation is we're allowing corrupt people to run governments all over the fucking world. It's not just the U.S.
Yeah.
And the governments are using their playbook to keep us against each other.
Yes.
They're keeping us politically opposed to each other. I mean, it's just like what we just said in Palestine and Israel, and they can fucking be fighting, but there's a bunch of
it's just like they're trying to instigate a race war here.
Blue hairs that I know I'm friends with.
Yeah.
I have some of my best friends are as liberal as they fucking get.
But I feel that's always been the people.
Well, they're also trying on the race front too to instigate like racial
It's all
tensions.
over, but it's everywhere.
Crazy.
It's create tension, because when you know how you can fucking make something blow up.
Yeah, put it under tension.
Mm-hmm.
But the people in power have always been that way. I just feel like we're at such an interesting time now because it's so obvious. Having the internet and social media,
It was
and
like
being
that back
able
in
to
the fucking medieval
stuff.
days too.
No, you didn't
You
know
go,
this stuff that
Louis
happened around the world.
Is a fuck, and I'm starving, and I can't eat that deer.
Yeah, but I mean on a global scale, like the way we see what happened in Israel, if that was that time, we would have to wait for a ship to come over and tell us about it months later. The fact that everyone's kind of getting on a page together and seeing, like you're saying, it's not just our government, it's all governments and what power can actually do, and corruption, it fucks you over. Just the same way Rome fell. We talk about that Rome thing. What was it? Separation of the empire, corruption of the government, and invasion of foreign states. But it's like, yeah, all of it is about the government having the power and the people not really understanding what's happening at that moment. Mm-hmm.
People in power is not bad.
Is it?
People,
because can't people
corrupt people in power is bad. And if you're corrupt, there should be a way to fix that.
How do we eliminate
with
that?
a gun?
How do we?
With fear. Politicians used to get tarred and feathered if they weren't serving.
See, but just the same way technology made war better, like in these weapons, so you can rule, I feel technology has to be there in a way to make government better. We're based off a doctrine 2,000 years ago of the Greeks, but shouldn't there be a way that we can figure this out a little bit better? And that's where it's like the corruption, the money and corruption are hand in hand.
Well, it's the is it the technology that is driving people to need more money and want more?
I think it's the disinvolvement of the people. If it's all
and by
ruled
people,
off
by people I mean the ruling class elites.
Yeah, no, I mean the people, the voters, the common man.
The voters don't get a vote.
But that's what I mean. It should be. That's where Mike Zedong comes in. It's not my government. It's the people's, where everyone votes off of certain,
I mean, we're saying the same thing, and we agree. We agree to a certain level. I think that the fact of the matter is we've gotten to a point where we don't trust the vote, which doesn't mean don't go fucking vote. It means
no, everybody needs to vote.
Yeah, even if it's a cast to the wind. That's
there needs
not
to be
real.
a more accountable system or a form.
There
of
could be. Yeah, and there should be. It's almost like you should be able to. You should almost have to go into a place and show them your ID.
I feel like counting.
Right. Prove it to you.
Yeah,
and then put your vote in, and if they can track my fucking taxes.
Concept.
But
why the fuck can't they track my vote?
That's what I mean.
One of you guys that brought up like American Idol can vote in real time on national TV. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I don't believe that shit too. Go Kelly.
Yeah, Clay Aiken can suck it. Yeah, I feel like I have a more secure like accounting of like me liking something on Instagram and it registering in the system than I do filling in a voting ballot and mailing it in the night before the election. And they're like, we tallied everything. And it's like, did you in real time? That's where technology works better, is you get instant like feedback. That's why this Israel thing's so intense, because you go onto Instagram and how many videos do you see of it happening in real time? Yeah. CNN kind of broke the world when we did the Iraq invasion, because they live streamed the war of Iraq back in the 90s. But now when Ukraine happened, or even Afghanistan, but primarily Ukraine, you're like, people are like, have you seen the war? It's like, dude, yeah, I saw every video of it. Not
on
like
Instagram.
And so people are like feeling all of this together at the same time. The world's kind of awakening that the people, the way the world's ruled is not kind of for the people's
technology
best interest.
Is disrupting old power structures. And that's why Klaus Schwab calls this the fourth industrial revolution. It's this disruption of
technology,
the old ways by technology. And that's why I think we're seeing so much unrest, is the old system is trying desperately to keep hold of its power. But it's becoming more and more obvious every day that they're just a bunch of fucking parasites. And they're trying, you know what I mean? Like if you go on Twitter right now, or fucking whatever it's called, X, and go to like Jay Inslee's page or account and read one of his posts about how Washington Green initiatives are leading the way, blah, blah, blah. And then read the comments and try to find me one positive comment.
Yeah, everyone's like,
it's everybody's leaving fuck you comments. And I think they're not living in a vacuum. They're being told, hey, we are getting destroyed. That's why the European Union is now trying to censor Twitter.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's the one open platform that's not being censored, and people are actually seeing what the real sentiment is out there. And it's not what you see on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
And they are desperately grasping at, you know what I mean? It's kind of at a tipping point. They're either going to shut it all down, put it into like a worldwide control state, I think, or they're going to lose power, and we're going to have some sort of cultural revolution where we're going to have like a new generation of senators, congressmen, and politicians.
What do you have to do to claim like a political refugee or like
asylum?
If I wanted to go to Japan,
I think you have to
do
be
you
able
think
to
I could
demonstrate
make a
that you would
case
be killed in your country for your political beliefs.
I'll play.
But I think
I'll play episode 30.
I think that's America's rules. I don't know what Japan's rules are.
Could you claim it's like you adopted our Constitution after World War II, and I think you've.
We're
going to
hold you down and tattoo "I love Korea" on your belly.
Yeah.
You'll never get into Japan.
I have skills.
Sweet ninja skills.
Yeah. I can wiggle on the ground better than anyone else. Come on now.
Yeah. What do you guys make of the and again, I'm a stupid guy, and all my feed is saying on Instagram, and which is why I'm a stupid guy, because I know what my feed is saying. But the Hamas guy is it?
He's encouraging people to encouraging
a worldwide jihad this Friday.
And what's jihad?
Holy war.
Okay. Didn't it mean something? Doesn't the word jihad mean something else?
Holy war.
I thought
holy war.
Is it only holy war?
Yeah.
I thought there was.
I know. There might be like a literal translation.
Yeah.
But it is holy war.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you believe that looks like? Is that real? First of all, is this guy really doing this?
Yes, it's real. And I think,
because what's today?
It's
12th?
like, how many
11th?
jihadists do you have in Snohomish? Probably not a lot. But is this rattling
We don't know that.
the bell of war? Like, is this creating more disturbance? The same way we say things feel upset and uneasy. If that guy said that in the 80s, it's not going to have a lot of impact.
You can
radicalize.
You can radicalize someone on the other side of the continent through chat rooms and internet connections. So if these are lone wolf type, like, hey, we recruited Jordan online. He believes
Easy now.
he believes in all our same beliefs, and now that he's one of us, we're going to tell him, hey, brother, this Friday, we want you to go
Sexy wrestler 69 will put this vest on and walk in. Yeah,
exactly. We want and they probably won't even tell them what sort of attack. We want you to conduct some sort of attack against the infidels.
Yeah. I don't think there's.
And we'll leave it up to you, your creative mind, to figure out what and where.
Over there,
I mean, this has
happened
happened though. This has happened multiple times.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is like
But I think not with this amount of.
There's a lot of vigor.
Like it's
Tension
fairly
and-
sensational. You know what I mean?
There's a
Like,
lot of vigor.
Yeah.
This is a big attack by Hamas. They're claiming a big victory, which gets their side riled up, right? The Islamist side. So everybody's sort of fired. And then you have all the Israelis are obviously fired up, and then anybody who's
there's a lot of Israeli Instagram models. You notice that?
Oh yeah, Israeli military girls.
Yeah.
There's a page dedicated
Dime
towards
pieces.
that.
Oh, is there?
Dime
my
pieces.
God.
So
I will not check that out later.
it's a shame. It's a shame.
But then you have all the people who are, think all the people who put Ukrainian flags in their profile. And then you have the same sort of phenomena with Israel now. And so you have tension everywhere. All these people, they're picking sides, tribalism, right? Like we were talking about at the beginning. Everybody, it's like battle lines are being formed. And tension is just rising and rising and rising.
Yeah. We're at a tipping point where the water's about to boil,
Yes.
it feels like, in the
Yes.
world. And we're a couple degrees off from 212.
So I've always felt like I can intermix with groups really well. Ever since high school was just kind of in and out of my group. What's that?
G,
B, yeah, all of that, dude. I can
Plus,
hang out with all of them.
Q,
Oh, yeah, NT,
R,
B,
X.
X, yeah, Latin.
Yeah.
Latinx.
But so,
Nailed it.
but that's the I've always felt good about being able to do that, and it's kind of crazy in the last couple years, feeling less and less allowed to do that, and feeling like if you don't find a side, nobody's gonna like you. You better come up with your.
It's like prison yard rules.
It feels like
what
it.
set do you belong to? Because if you don't, then you're going to get killed.
Which isn't that crazy to feel like you're being controlled right now by that?
Possibly.
Because I know that some of my best friends, like I said, don't believe the same shit I believe.
No.
But I also am like, do I want to have this conversation? Is it a conversation worth having, or is that how we stay friends, by not having a conversation, not really showing our cards of who we are, which is fucking crazy to feel like.
Yeah,
and that's a scary feeling of
that's probably what allows the tribalism to continue, is people unwilling to have those difficult conversations, because you might, even if you don't like it, you might see a little bit of their point of view.
And I think you'll always have differences, but it's at what point will you fight about it? We'll always have differences. That's part of life, or different viewpoints. But at what point do you start fighting? That is, that's the last measure.
Fucking
because
$6 a gallon. God damn it.
Yeah. No
but
shit.
it's that's where it happens. You can think trans is great, or you think trans is bad. Let's make our arguments. But at what point, when I talk about this subject, do you take a punch? And it's well, now we can't get along. Now you started, because a punch was thrown, you're team this and I'm team that. And now we're always going to be butting heads.
Or you go like a bouncer does. Whoa, dude. Calm down. We don't have to do this.
You can get, but
You know,
that's like the Jesus thing. Take the punch and turn the cheek, right?
Well, no. The thing is
and talk it out.
When you're the bigger, badder motherfucker.
Yeah, you don't turn.
You don't have to. And you get to take it, and you get to eat it, and you get to go, hey, calm down.
True.
We can discuss this. We don't have to be emotional. We can discuss this because.
But that's
know
not
what would
happening
happen.
Around the world
because
right now.
because we have bad leadership.
There's no discussion, but it's bred to
right,
the
though.
people.
It is because of bad leadership.
It's not. It's not the people. It's never the people that are
I mean, look at all the screaming of left and right. I mean, the leadership is leading us down that road. But
here's the thing: they're not
for the
leading
people to wake up, for the people to wake up and be like, "Why am I fighting this guy?" And you saw that friggin' Israel-Hamas thing, or Israel-Palestinian thing happening down in Kirkland.
Oh, I thought there was some UFC fight.
They had a big
I didn't
brawl.
know about.
Dude, there was a brawl in the streets of Kirkland between it, and it's like, listen,
In Kirkland?
yeah. And it's like, why am I doing this? Why am I
In
adding
Kirkland,
more?
where
Yes.
the average house costs $1.4
$1
million.
Yeah, it was
the
downtown.
average
It was
salary is
on-
like $250K a year.
Yeah.
You can't actually live there if you make less than like 180.
But it's
just
like you're not
affordable.
making any of this better. You're adding fuel to the fire. To be like, we're puppets in this, and the more we fight, the more it works. That's why I'm saying, like, when do the people wake up? Like, yes, the government, it's bad leadership leading you into fighting with one another.
Yeah.
Like, once you get enough answers and realize what's happening, why can't you wake up and say stop as the citizen? If we're saying this is about us taking control, it has to be from the people within.
Okay, well, how?
Exactly. I ask that all the time. How do we get that mindset into the world?
We know what we're trying to do. How? Is it agreeing with each other? Is it not talking over each other? Is it trying to make exceptions to the rules you make in your head?
I think it's listening.
I think it's back to giving each other respect, and we're back to everybody needs to be dangerous. Because if getting punched in the face is on the table, then you listen respectfully. You may not agree, but you're not going to get disrespectful because you might get your nose broke.
Didn't the NAACP fight for Nazis to have protest or to march
It's free
in the
speech,
60s?
Because
right?
you can't say we believe in free speech
in
and
the
we're gonna shut
United
this group
States.
down.
That happened
Yes.
because it's
Yes.
limiting free speech. What we're seeing is the ability to not talk and hear ideas. I think Nazism's bad, but if you're a Nazi and you want to talk about it, it's like,
Let's
okay,
hear you.
bring out some points. Let's hear it, because the only way to fight a bad idea is with a good idea. And when you stifle ideas and you don't let the people talk and people just get angry and you label one side as good or bad, that's where the bad leadership can really come into effect.
Have you ever seen that? The hell is that? I don't know what the guy's name is, but he has like I think I'm pro-gun, like prove me wrong or something like that. He sits down in the schools.
Oh,
Crowder.
That's
Crowder.
Stephen Crowder.
Yep. So it's funny because he's doing it on campuses and they're trying to kick him off, whether it be whatever, triggering fucking shit he's doing. And obviously he's doing something to get a rise out of people, but at the same time, like, the amount of just broken people who can't even function when he's there is fucking and obviously it might be one or two people and they get the sound bites and they make it out.
You're nailing it with that.
But
yes.
The fact of the matter is like, well, I guess that's the truth, is like, we don't know how many people at that school think that. Yeah, but we also know, like, when there is the outrage, somebody sees themselves on one side or the other when they watch shit like that, and they put themselves in that position and like align yourself with it. So we are being manipulated by this technology. As well as it can help us, it can fucking hurt us. Just like the more technology you have, in a weapon, the easier it is to hurt yourself with too.
Yeah.
To a greater scale.
But that thing you're saying about the college debate thing, that's very interesting, because it's like, if you look at that where people are getting offended by him doing that, the place that should be full of the youngest people with the wildest ideas, and colleges are meant to challenge ideas and have
not
debate
anymore.
and topic.
Yeah, not anymore.
The fact that that's not happening is a very good indication of why all of this is happening. If our youth today aren't being exposed to tons of ideas in like an arena of battle.
Well, they're not allowed to express their own ideas. They're expected to sit, listen, and regurgitate.
Exactly. So if you're not having
learning your ideas.
tomorrow, is being put in this arena of all thought and figuring it out, well, now every day from now on, tomorrow is going to be worse and worse and worse because the narrative is being told. You need to listen to everyone.
Yeah, it's diversity in parents, not opinion.
Yeah.
That's the college motto now.
Yes.
And if you're
Yeah, you're right.
and when you say anything against it, you're racist. And it's like, yes, my ideas are about race and they don't align with yours. So am I racist or are you racist?
Me and my two dads don't approve of
You know
that,
what I mean?
Jordan.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing is like you start going down hard, triggering. People say, oh, it's hard to talk about that shit. It's not hard to talk about it. Say
No.
it. It's easy. I just said it.
I'm trying to talk about Nazis, and I think I said Chinamen.
Yeah. But that it's
You also said cracker.
Yeah, which, it offended me, but I'm not going to tell you not to say it.
It's weird.
It just like, if people were more understanding and more willing to have those conversations, the better it is. And you're not getting it from colleges. You're getting indoctrination at colleges now.
Yeah.
Where you were saying,
and
oh,
in
you
primary
should,
school.
and that's the scary thing is they're working their way down the ladder with
Because colleges
one
teach the
particular
teachers, right?
ideology and idea, which is why it's like, hey, guess what? I want there to be gay rights at schools, but I also, this is going to sound fucked up, but if there's an LGBTQ plus flag, should there be a Nazi flag somewhere?
Yeah, that's why there should be
Yeah.
only American flags because we're all Americans, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Or can
An
we go, hey,
umbrella
guess
of
what?
all.
Maybe
The one thing we can say is that we are all Americans.
maybe this
Yes,
isn't a place
an
for this at
umbrella
all.
for
Maybe-
everyone.
Maybe
Yes.
this isn't a place for us at all. But the American flag is here, and we hold it up high, and we are appreciative to it. And if you're not, then don't be.
Yeah.
But if you want to bring certain ideas into a public school, why don't we bring all ideas into a
no shit.
public school?
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying bring Nazi flags in there,
No,
but
you're
I'm
making
also
a very
saying
good point.
don't bring other flags that are
Not
pushing
American. Yeah,
pushing
that are for one group only.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I understand like the thought process of like because there's no question there's been a racial bias in society that have led to certain people getting way more money and having a better life. Like you trace it down the line, you're gonna find that absolutely every time.
Sure.
But we can agree that that's a thing.
Yeah.
Because you just trace it back. It's easy. But after that, then what the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah.
Now we're doing all this other crazy shit that doesn't need to happen in schools, and that we're breaking down exactly what primary school is for learning arithmetic and language arts.
Reading and writing, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. Do that. Go outside and run.
Yeah. Social interaction. in your
Yes,
basics.
socialize
Yeah.
and have teachers that I
Put you
couldn't
on a
tell
path.
you what my teachers, to this day, I couldn't tell you what any of my teachers in elementary school's political beliefs were.
No.
I couldn't tell you
You
that.
didn't even know if they were married, if they had kids,
I
if
have
they had a dog.
no fucking
you
clue.
No, you
Yeah.
knew nothing.
Looking back on it, there was some short hair. I'll say that. But I couldn't
Couldn't
tell
tell ya.
you either way. And that's like,
But were
That's
you
what we
also
want.
thinking about it at that
no,
age?
looking back on
But
it
now
and the
it's being
interactions we
brought
had.
up, so it makes you think at a young age. Like when people are telling you that,
But there
there's a
wasn't
different
an
like we never
indoctrination
heard it.
in colleges like there is today. There in,
Oh, yeah.
in 1975 when my teachers were going to school,
Yeah.
I don't think it was quite as polarizing as it is today.
Oh no.
To go to a UW. How are you going to vote? You go to UW. Tell
Yeah,
me.
left.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
100%.
You go to Georgia. How are you going to vote?
Right.
Maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, you're
Like
right.
fuck, I don't
Depends.
know. But most of the colleges you go to are left leaning. Most of the media you listen to is left leaning. Like and it pisses me off a little bit because I'm right leaning, but I'm right leaning in a left world.
Yeah.
And it feels like I'm standing straight up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and like, that's the fact of the matter. You go too far one way or too far the other way, your ass is falling down.
Yeah.
And we can't be doing that. And so in schools, we're getting that, and that's leading to ideologies and people leaning further and further and creating more and more tension that is easily cut. And when that's cut, it is all hell breaks loose.
Rubber band's going to snap.
It's never mind. Yeah, I think that if we can worry about ourselves and getting our shit together in that regard, then maybe we can worry about it on a world level. But right now, we can't do it at home. We can't do it in fucking Starbucks.
But that
And
goes,
guess what? Some people get pissed off you're even in Starbucks.
Yeah.
But that goes back to what we were originally saying. How much can we be fixing our home when we're trying to figure out the world and rule the world and dictate? We're setting up the military-industrial complex throughout the world and setting up shadow governments, puppet governments, taking over areas, putting influence and money in arms. It's like, well, would you expect anything less to be happening in our country when we're meddling so much throughout the world? How much actual energy do you have to go? If you're putting this all into global influence, what's internal influence going to be?
Could you imagine if we had a thing where we got everybody out of the U.S. that wasn't a citizen? And we said, all right, guys, everybody who's here right now is a U.S. citizen. And we are going to allow us to make a decision. How do we want to rule our country or run our country for the rest of your guys' lives, for your children's lives? Do we want to create a society that is pushing technology in all facets the best we can and being closed a little bit? And not to say people couldn't leave and come, but just to have an inner meeting with people who are citizens and say, hey, a voting of sorts. And you go, do we want to create a world where we're just going to keep our head down? We're not going to get in international conflict as much. We still have to because we need to participate in world affairs because everybody in the world needs to participate in world affairs, right? To some degree or another. But we're going to push our technology. We want spaceships. We want absolute crazy bombs. We want weapons. We want all that stuff. But we also want art. We want movies. We want music. We want travel. We want people to come into our country and go, this is a clean, beautiful place where people can do the things they want to do. Or do we just say fuck it and let things go back to where they are and fucking try and rule the world with this iron fist? Because that's not going to happen. We're obviously losing control right now. We had it. We held the world. America held the world in our hand, and somehow we dropped the fucking ball. And now it's a struggle because we got another couple superpowers trying to pick it up.
So I think the technology, the arms race that started in World War II has never ended.
No,
so
and it
the
can't.
reality
And
is
it will never.
we stayed ahead of the game for a long time, and now we've fallen behind.
But also, I think what they said best was the experiment known as America, which makes me sad, is finally coming to end. Like, what lasted a couple 100 years? Maybe this is how it works. Like,
Or
we
maybe
don't know
not.
the future.
You know what I mean? Like, we
Maybe.
might. There's a generation of
Something's gonna happen.
the pendulum feels like it's swinging back because I'm noticing a lot of middle school and high school kids are not down with wokeism. Like my son's in 6th grade, and the stories he's coming home with, because I pay attention very closely to what's going on at the schools, and so I'm like, hey man, how's school today? I ask all these questions, and it's like they're still doing the same shit we did. Like there's still packs of boys. There's still like, I don't want to tell too much of the story, but he's like, there was one kid that like, it sucks. Bullying sucks, but nobody liked him. And he's in the center of the dodgeball ring and everybody's just throwing dodgeballs at him, even though there's 6 other kids, until they hit him in the face and made him cry. And I was like, you know what? Sucks to be that kid. But part of me is glad that boys are still boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just the way humanity acts.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of bullying happening in.
Well, it's how. Yeah.
You have to learn it.
Yeah. Blood does the same thing, right?
Yeah. You can't
see an outsider and they surround that fucking thing and try and kill it.
It's the yin
and then when you're not, guess what? You die.
Yeah.
Everything
has to be balanced. Like
right.
Yin and yang it's a real concept. In order for someone to be a strong person, you have to have weak people, because otherwise you would just be. Right?
Yeah.
What is Jordan? He's Jordan.
Yeah.
And there would be no word for strong or weak.
Yeah. Opposites defy.
Exactly. In order to have strong leaders, we have to have weaklings.
Oh boy, enlightening episode, huh?
Well, I was gonna say if we don't get food soon, I think we're gonna miss all the kitchens closing.
Spartry.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. We got to go eat.
Bye.